What's up? What's up?
Time that out really to run up so that when it started, you would just like flash up here.
It looks like I did. That was not planned, but I think I'll probably do it every time going forward.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. All right. Good morning, everybody. Rise and grind in the near ecosystem, whatever episode it is.
9.
Today we have Decentricity and the DeBio team back with us. They're going to be demoing different facets of their product, and then they're going to be taking more questions on it as we make sure that we keep going through it during their IDO, as their IDO is ongoing. Before that, though, we'll kick off with the news of the day. Yaren, do you want to start us off?
Sure. If you want to share your screen.
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
So the first news of the day is from the Gen Z marketing competition, which is ongoing at the moment. You are familiar with it, Ozzy. You spoke there. And this is a tweet about one of the marketing challenges that they put up. So the concept is it's basically like a hackathon. All of these near and non-near projects put up a bounty for a marketing challenge. And in this case, it's for near names. It's a 50K bounty for anyone who can make a product for gifting near wallets. So near names is basically a link drop for near accounts. You can just create a near account, claim a name, send it to someone with a link, and they can claim it. And you can even put some near in it, which is a really great way to introduce near to noobs. So this is part of the ongoing Gen Z marketing competition. And Ozzy, if you want to talk a little bit more about that, I mean, you spoke there. What's the vibe there? Who do you want to encourage to join?
Yeah, so that was a really good conference that Ross put on, basically to try to get people from 0 to 1 in crypto. It was oriented towards marketers, but honestly, you can take a lot out of it. I don't know where my talk was recorded at. It was an hour and a half long, and it was about orientation and then on marketing in the space. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing. It's a lot like getting a course on internet marketing in the late 1990s. You know, like the whole landscape is waiting to really emerge. All the tools are still being built. Like, it's so early. There's a huge opportunity for innovative and savvy marketers. So, if you're interested in getting into the space and you come from any background of marketing, messaging, communicating, content creating, shit posting. I mean, basically, you're going to do that on steroids in crypto, and Near's looking for you. So get involved if you can, and reach out, and I'm pretty sure they'll get in touch and try to find a way to make it work, because Ross's approach at this point is pretty much like bring in a lot of different approaches and see what proves itself, instead of having like a certain dogmatic or ideological bent. So yeah. Next news, Sandbox AMA, that's today. That's right now, isn't it?
No, it's 1 hour from now.
It's an hour. Okay. With Rhyme Taylor on minting music. That's a cool one. I think that one you're going to see a lot of verticals built on, and whoever can finally find a way of pretty much doing what Spotify does, but on chain, is going to have a serious value created effect. So that's pretty cool. Other news. Oh, this is a cool one. Sweet. Oh.
The cameras.
Don't worry. I mean, we can just go here because I've searched this before. So the announcement is that Near is officially on Token Terminal.
Ooh.
This is really cool. They focus on analytics and revenue and basically fees and everything like this. And then you can compare it to other things, but it's really good data for doing, research on the growth of a protocol, especially if you want to make sure that some of the core, inputs are there. So yeah, it's interesting. Have a look at it and kind of play around with the chart if you want to. It's all looking really good as early as it is.
Cool.
I kind of wanted to jump in here. There's underwear on Paras now, so just completing the act of laughing in the face of God is Paras. They're minting underwear NFTs. It looks like there's 2 still available, so get you yours.
Nice.
That's all.
Is that what this announcement is?
No, it's another link in the sheet. It's a little bit below.
So you jumped the gun, Sue.
Yeah, I just
There's
like to mix things up a little bit.
crypto.
That was one I was most
So
excited.
you literally just commentated a different storyline for a different article we had. Great.
Yeah.
And this is Mr. Underwear.
Mhm.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice.
And he tells it like it is.
Yeah, I live my truth. What can I say?
I wonder what they're selling for. Maybe Joe, you should go study at the University of Austin.
Yeah, because I'm
So cheap.
unconventional. I
1.5.
haven't been canceled yet. I don't think I have to go there.
Okay. Yeah, so they're all just getting kicked off, right? Buy those undies, yo. That's a new one. All right. Marma J Foundation. Do you want to talk about this one, Rim?
Yeah, so Marma J Chan is a play on the Near Chan challenge that shout out to Starpaws or Jordan Gray that he started kind of trying to replace Near Cats and making Near Chan this kind of moe anime version of Near into the unofficial mascot of Near. So Marma J Chan is Marma J Foundation's spin on that challenge. And if you look at the sheet, there are a bunch of examples that we listed for these submissions.
Where?
In the sheet.
Oh, in the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so this on the right is the original Near Chan, left is Marma J Chan. So people are having fun. It's bringing a lot of artists on Paras to participate, and the Marma J Foundation as a DAO are buying these collections from the artists and owning it as a DAO. So that's a really cool thing that they're doing. They're always doing something really creative. So hop in, check out the DAO, check out their weekly syncs, and get into the party.
Cool. Very cool. Lots of NFT stuff going on these days, huh?
Yeah. Near NFTs about to take off.
Near NFTs, very popular. There's another
Look
one.
at that. Look at that. Look how cute that is.
Oh,
Okay, I have a question. What is a Chan? What is the concept of a Chan?
It's in Japanese. Chan is the word. It's like the it's like a reference that you use for a girl. So you say like for me, you would say Ring Chan, or for
Mhm.
you, I would say Su Kun. Kun is for men, so that's how you address people.
Okay, cool. So it's just like women cards.
It's like Miss Near or Miss Marma J.
Okay, got it.
all right. This one, another big NFT news.
Sports.
Y'all see this one? Oh, that's
Yeah.
8
What's going on,
minutes.
people? Welcome back to another.
That's 8 minutes, but this is a pretty good one. They raised a fair amount of money, and these guys are building on Near.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I hope so.
I hope so.
No, they
I
are.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
They're official licensed sports NFTs. So that's pretty cool, right? And they're going to do event ticketing as well, like anything sports related.
Yeah, all the experimentation is beginning now, and it is a good sign that the Near NFTs are growing well. That's pretty dope. Oh, this was a new one.
It's a bit of a heavier one, I would say. The Aurora DAO has voted to implement KYC for the Aurora IDO. So if anyone, even if you participated for SmartPad, you intend to do for Broca Chica and Skyward, you have to go through the IDO KYC process. So heads up to anyone who wants to participate, get those juicy Aurora tokens. Don't forget to get KYC'd in order to participate.
Mm-hmm. And this was a good one by Odd Gems. Yeah, I saw this one.
Shout out to Odd Gems. He's a real one. Pumping Near at all the right times.
Yeah, so much happening over at Near Protocol that it's really hard to keep up with. So many amazing updates and news. I'll be honest here, this truly gives me 2017 Ethereum vibes. It is cool, I think, and there's a lot of fun comments on it. But this is cool from one of the few people who actually has paid close attention and fair attention from the outside. You know, I always say, like, it's important that the feedback is honest across the board. And most of the people like Odd Gems give feedback like this. You know, it's not delusional and it's not inflated. It's just honest.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign, a good marker going forward. Oh, also, pretty sure there was a panel last night with Ilya and Carolyn Wynn from Mint Base who were talking about Portugal and innovation there and kind of Near's presence there, and it seemed to be very bullish because it had a number of Portuguese officials, and I think it was a part of, I don't know which conference it was, but yeah, it was good.
Nice. Yeah. Looks like Near's bidding a city node in Lisbon. Mintbase already moved to Lisbon. A bunch of good crypto stuff is happening right here in Portugal.
Where are the city nodes now for Near beyond Lisbon?
Kenya, Nairobi, Lisbon, Copenhagen might be developing one out, and I think that's it.
London's a candidate. There are a bunch of good Near people at London as well.
Nice. When Council bluffs.
Exactly. When council bluffs, indeed. All right, Riv, you wanna explain this one, and maybe then we can also get into the show, introduce our guests.
Yeah, so to transition to the product deep dive segment for today, we have the DeBio team. They just announced that their IDO will happen on Skyward. Deposit already began from the 7th, ongoing to the 13th, and the sale itself will begin its automatic auction, obviously, on Skyward from the 14th. And there was a hint from Decentricity herself that you may be eligible for some airdrops. So don't miss out on this opportunity.
I do love me some octopus. So that looks great. Well, without further ado, actually, today we have the DeBio team with us. They are going to be demoing some of the product, talking about how it works, and then also talking about the ongoing IDO. So without further ado, I'll add all three of them in and let them share their screen. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the whatever this is show.
Right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having us here.
Welcome.
Yeah, great to have you guys. So I don't know how you would like to start, but if we want to do the demo first, that might be more helpful, just for everyone else to understand going forward. So by all means.
All right. Okay. Just to introduce everyone. We are the DeBio network. We're the first app chain on the Octopus network. We're the anonymous first app chain. An app chain is application-specific blockchain for medical and bioinformatics services and data. I'm the CEO. Ibnu here is our chief science officer, and Lydia is lead developer. And Lydia is probably going to be sharing her screen.
Yep, sure.
Go ahead.
Let me share my screen.
Is this the first public demo of DeBio?
No, we have actually already have it live on the site for.
Oh, okay. Cool.
This is probably like the most recent version that this is going live. So it only exists at the moment in our servers right now.
Nice, exclusive.
Right. So Lydia is the only one who has access.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
I don't.
It's below here. One second. Let me grab it for you.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So I think it will be a quick introduction about the demo for our product, right? How many time do I have here?
You have
2
hours.
minutes?
No.
Well,
Let's say 2 minutes. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Just an
all right. So it will be a quick introduction about. So this is the demo. I run it on my local host. So there is actually 2 platforms that will be used. First is for the customer, and this one, the one that you are seeing here, is the customer platform. So this is the application that you're going to use as a customer to do a request test, or you can put your medical records in here, or you can also see the payment history. And in here you can see the dashboard of the recent orders that you made previously and the result of the test, and you can see and track where's the duration of the test and what status is it in now. So in the My Test section, you can, this is still to be noted, this is still working in progress. So we're still working closely on it. So there will be improvement on this in the short duration. So in here you can see the task list, and also you can also stake your you can request you can request a service and stake your DBio to have
I'm
to
just gonna
request
jump
that
in
service.
here. I'm just gonna jump
Yep,
in
sure.
here. So this is actually super interesting because your users or our customers are also helping us get labs. So you can stake your DBio to get services locally. Like if you're in, I don't know, like in Jakarta, like let's say Jakarta doesn't have labs. It actually has, but like let's say Jakarta doesn't have labs. Oh, what do? You can't order tests, but you can stake for a test. So you're staking an amount of DBio tokens to get med to get whole genome sequencing from a lab, and that request is of course is publicly on the blockchain. It doesn't have your name, of course. Everything is anonymous here, but labs can basically see the demand of a local market. So a local market would you would be able to see exactly how many people are interested in whole genome sequencing, how many people are interested in COVID testing, and a lab can sign up based on these metrics.
Oh,
And
interesting. So
right,
the with the bio tokens, the bio users can create demand for
correct.
labs and testing
Right.
in their
Yeah.
area.
Right.
That's
This is
awesome.
why we're
Right.
DBio. We're sort of using sort of the DeFi mechanisms for the real world bio stuff. And a lot of the things that, labs don't have a view of the demand in
Mm-hmm.
regions because, the statistics of it is like there's a lot of genetic testing in the US, for example, but like we don't really know what demand is in Indonesia and a lot of the smaller countries and third world nations as well. So this actually provides a way to link up sort of the real world with crypto, and of course you get rewards out of getting the staking. Like it's similar to regular staking. You're staking, but you're also getting rewards, and if the labs come in, you basically get rewards.
And does the more tokens that you stake translates to more demand, or how is that measured?
Yeah, so this is so the labs basically have a very transparent view of how many people and how many, like how much do each people stake. So you see from a volume perspective, and you see from a value perspective, and you can see it in the map right there. So you're a lab. This is why a lot of people are probably confused about the value because they're only seeing one piece of the puzzle. There's another piece of the puzzle, which is the lab demand. Labs are actually a key part of this. So in order to make this fully decentralized, you need to decentralize the labs as well. It can't be just one lab. It can't
Right.
be just me and Ibnu lab. Ibnu. Well, that would be centralized, right? And this
Right.
is decentralizes the labs as
Correct.
well. And we need to bridge to, and their business model is looking at demand.
Okay, interesting.
Right.
Bio
Right. So basically,
detention.
everyone could see this list. So yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
this list encourages labs to to join into the ecosystem, because the first lab that respond to the request would get the the reward of the bio tokens that have been staked for the services.
Yeah. So to add, you can go to the Bio.network and see in the Bio menu, and then you can join as a lab, and then it will redirect you to the actual service later. But because we don't have the preseed data in our deployed server right now, it's still on the local host. So later you will see that how many users that demand services in which particular area. So that's about the request and staking. Maybe I should go along with the next one is electronic medical record. So here you can upload your medical records, but for right now, this will be working in progress for the next features for the bio after launch, and there will be so much more interesting features that we have in the futures, and also you
Right.
can choose to
Need to
at
bounty.
your data as a bounty.
Before we
Your
move on
Japanese.
to EMR, then that was like just some alpha here. Right now, this is just a place where you can upload your EMR securely and anonymize it, basically, like and you redact the stuff. Basically, that's sort of like the vision is to use it like to show your vaccine passport without putting it, well, vaccine certificate without putting it anywhere that's unsafe, but like it's accessible from anywhere that you have your private key on. So you can basically show it like that. That's as simple as that. It's just a place where we upload files. And the second phase of it is, and this we're still figuring it out, not from the technical perspective, but actually from the regulatory perspective, is a second opinion marketplace. So you have all of your electronic medical records in one place. You anonymize it, etc. You have issues with your health that you need a second opinion for, and you want to put it in a marketplace to show actual doctors who are KYC whether the diagnosis is right, whether there's an altered diagnosis, do you have a second opinion, basically, and the doctors get paid in tokens. So this is something that we're still working on. It is initially just to put like your medical records in one place in a way that is like sovereign to you.
Correct.
But it'll expand to a way to basically have additional second opinions from doctors.
Yep. And then the next feature is data bounty. So after you request a test, let's say whole genome sequencing, and then you'll get the result from the lab, and then you can choose to add your data as a bounty to the data marketplace. Right now, we're using Ocean Marketplace to put your data securely in the blockchain. So after you choose to add your data to the data marketplace, it will show up in here. And also you will get a reward as the bounty itself. And then you can also see what data that you have been staking or put it as a bounty in here. The last one is the payment history to see all of your tests that you have been requested or purchased previously, and you can also see the details of the orders to see also the test status, the specimen number, the service price, and the reward that you get from your orders. Okay, and the others is the features to request a test. You can select the location, the country, state, city, and the category itself. Right now we have a couple of categories in here. And then after you select the location and service, you can also pay, and then it will be successfully created and it will be seen by a lab. And then you can, as a lab, you can process the test and then give the result to the customer itself. And this one is for upload your EMR files in here. And I also forgot mentioning about what's interesting about DeBio is that we are using Substrate or Octopus Upchain as our blockchain network, but we also combine it with MetaMask as our payment gateway. And so you can connect here through MetaMask, and then we'll do a wallet binding between your Polkadot and your MetaMask wallet, and then you can do your payment via MetaMask, or you can stake it via the bio, which is from the Polkadot address. I think that's from the customer side. Do you want to add something, maybe Pandu or Ibnu?
Yeah, so the multi-chain thing is something that we are really focused on. As you can see from like the multiple wallets here, this is on Near. It has Polkadot, it has MetaMask. There is a reason for that. We would like to get liquidity from all sides of the market, and we are working on near integration as well in terms of like the payment mechanism. That is going to be in this next phase, because we started in as you guys know, we started in Substrate, so it's all Polkadot with MetaMask when we started. The DBio token itself is NEP 141. So you'd be able to trade it on Graph. You would be able to hold the project and support the project by holding the tokens. The IDO is live on Skyward. We've already been whitelisted. You can go to app.skywardfinance to check it out. But yeah, so just to highlight there, we're multi-chain. So it might confuse some people because it doesn't look like a near project, but it is 100% a near project. That's because we're on top of Octopus. It just looks slightly different. Okay, that's the demo.
Thank you so much. It looks amazing. Maybe from just the customer end, you said I could connect to my MetaMask and hopefully in the future also my Near wallet. When I want to pay for my DNA test or my genome test, am I paying in crypto fully? And then how does that translate on the lab side? What kind of payment are they accepting?
Okay, that's a good question. So first of all, you pay with DAI, with stablecoin DAI. But when you're staking for a lab, you're actually staking the bio. So two mechanisms, right? So either staking the bio or basically like if you already have a lab, then you're paying in DAI. Now, in terms of actually getting the money to the labs, we are looking for labs that are crypto ready. That's sort of something that we want them to manage their own wallets because we don't want anything to be centralized to us. We'd like them to be able to just pull out the DAI. We are using stablecoins instead of DBio as a payment mechanism because we'd like to ensure that they know exactly what the pricing is of the services and we that's also honestly at the moment why we are using MetaMask because it is it has like it or not it has the most adoption in terms of and getting the labs to onboard. Yeah. But yeah, that's the answer.
And I also want to ask from the adoption side because Divayo, I think it's one of those interesting projects where it's not simply crypto native. You're bridging the on-chain with the off-chain, obviously, right? Because you're relying on labs, you're dealing with real-world medical data. How does that conversation work, right? It's one thing to get users interested in using decentralized medical platform, but also another to have different labs in different areas to onboard onto the program and say, hey, this is another way of dealing with data and it's going to be the future. Like, how does that conversation work? And how's it going?
That is an awesome question. And they'll be in two parts in terms of the answer. The first part will come from me and the second will come from Ibnu, who has an alpha update for us.
Okay.
You do the MOU, wink, wink. Okay. Onboarding labs. At the moment, there's actually a ton of labs out there who are already doing this and trying to do so with digitally, like because like 23andMe, Ancestry.org, and all these major players are already like online. They're already doing a lot of sales online, digital sales. A lot of the smaller labs don't have that. And with the rise of COVID, a lot of labs actually appeared because like a lot of people who previously who set up companies previously that are they're not related to human to whole genome sequencing, suddenly because of the demand of COVID, they have PCR devices, for example. And these labs are like there's a ton of labs like this, and this is not just in the US. This is worldwide because COVID is worldwide. So that capacity of actually doing things, capacity of actually doing testing, uh, just hasn't been bridged with the demand. And we're trying to bridge that demand by creating basically a digital storefront for people to set up their labs. So that is the way the conversation goes. This is a digital storefront. You receive your tokens. You receive your tokens directly. This is sovereign to you. The money is sovereign to you. Everything's in a smart contract. But for them, it's just like you put your star there. You can decorate it. You can put it all the products that you want, and once that's set up, you can sell locally in terms of like sampling services. We'll tell you about sampling services later, or worldwide in terms of anything that's related to data. So so that's sort of what we do. Now, one thing I think you can update about our MOU that we haven't announced yet, but we have signed.
Right. We just signed an MOU with the lab in Indonesia. They agreed to perform the pilot testing with the bio. So that's a very great news. It's that validates our business model. So
Wow, congratulations,
because
first of all.
thank you so much, Rim. So we're trying to cater to the 47% of consumer, the direct to customer genetic testing in the states. Actually, it's issued from the PricewaterhouseCoopers research. It mentions that 40% of the direct to customer genetic testing,
47%.
47, my bad. 47% of the direct to customer genetic testing concerns about their privacy, about their data sovereignty. So we're trying to address this. We are building this platform so that the seller, the labs that can do genetic testing, and the buyer, users that want to do genetic testing anonymously, to meet on this platform. So the user would log into the app chain, and then they could generate the a private key and the public key. So when they enter the ecosystem, they would pick a lab with a service that they want to perform on their DNA. Let's say I'm in New York. I want to do a whole genome sequence genetic testing. I'm going to pick a lab that is nearby my block, and then I'm going to choose the service. I'm going to pay with decentralized payment like a cryptocurrency, and then after I pay, then I could do buccal swab. I could self-resource the kit and then do my own buccal swab. And then I'm going to put that swab in the envelope. I'm going to write down my specimen number, and then I'm going to send the DNA sample to the nearby lab that I have chosen earlier, without return address, without KYC. Only the specimen number is an alphanumeric code that could represent me as a client anonymously. So when the lab receives the sample, they would do the quality control, they do the wet work, bioinformatic analysis. The result of that bioinformatic analysis would then be encrypted in IPFS and stored in the DM, stored in the app chain. Only the owner of that genetic material, me, could access that data. And then the bio would then offer me as a user to give my consent so that the bio could use my data and then aggregate my data with the other data that's similar from other users, and then put into the Ocean data marketplace. Okay, in the Ocean data marketplace, data consumers such as biopharma companies, Pfizer or GlaxoSmithKline, could then purchase access to that aggregated data. They would buy the access by sending the Ocean coins. The Ocean coins that DBio generates in the marketplace would then be swapped into Ethereum, and then we're going to use that Ethereum to buy back DBio. So we're seeing a very compliant company because we're not violating KYC, we're not violating uh, someone else's privacy. We're not breaching anything because the data that we generated in the ecosystem is unidentified data.
Yeah,
like that. Right.
And
So
yeah.
hopefully this will give a solution to the ever increasing problems of data breach, of violating consents of the DNA material owner, like that. So the bio would then help the research community to have to access the data ethically,
Yep.
because the profit that we earn in the data marketplace would then flow back to the genetic owner, because they when they agree to give their consent, the buyer would then give them the buyer coins. The value of the buyer coins will then increase by the ever increasing transaction in the Ocean data marketplace, like that.
Yeah.
Hope that explains.
Awesome.
It does. No, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's cool because it's a lot like, you're seeing, especially this year, the emergence of the use of blockchain and crypto for new industries. And this is one of the first use cases where you're talking about decentralizing something in biotech, right? Or something to do with the biology process. So I wanted to ask you guys a couple of things, I guess, on a business development front for actually kind of scaling this. Do you see this as something that the existing system of labs, especially in the States, could benefit from? So kind of like a both and approach. Do you see it as like the kind of thing where they might say, oh, we could offer this privately and trial this, using the bio network and still offer a normal suite? And that's kind of like the beginning of the erosion of the centralized system. I don't know, your thoughts, I guess, on biz dev across the board, and especially on that topic of working with the existing centralized system.
Right. So we're here to basically assist the systems, the labs, the smaller labs at the beginning, but also bigger labs who have like different offerings and want to expand their market. We're accessing sort of a different market from the current labs that they have, and we do have a captive audience of crypto people who have probably been stuck at home for like the last 18 months, probably just came back to the fray. That's sort of that's sort of our spiel in terms of the way we speak to these labs. It opens up a different market, and it opens it up in a way that is actually a lot more practical for them, because they don't have to deal they don't have to deal with sending out kits. They just receive the samples and send back, and then they get via escrow all of these tokens that they can use. So it is sort of I've been in this space for a while, so I've looked at projects that have tried to do real world stuff, and one of the things that I think needs to be done is also think about the mechanic and how it translates to the real world interest of the labs, and the real world interest of any lab, of any lab, any business that is related to medical, is to expand the market and to reach more people and to reach more customers. So that's sort of how we market to these labs. I'm also sort of interested in the way that there are two sides to this. Right? One is selling services, and the other is the part where we're selling data. That is actually a huge part of it. Ibnu mentioned GlaxoSmithKline, large companies that do something called computer-aided drug design. And these are based on a lot of the data that we have within eBio, that we will have with more customers coming in. And that aggregated data set can be sold to them via the Ocean Marketplace. Now, right now, they don't buy from crypto. These companies don't buy from the crypto companies, don't buy from Ocean Data Marketplace. But with the amount of data that we're gathering, they have no choice but to buy. And that would actually transform sort of the value proposition from the data flow perspective, because you're not, they're not buying data from large companies, they're buying data directly from the owners of the genetics, which is us, which is like our genomes, right? So
Right.
this is, two sides. And we have a marketing budget, and we have like all the details on our website. There's like a pie chart, like all the standard stuff. You can take a look at that. But like that's from a philosophical and strategic perspective. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think, I think we touched upon it during our answers a little bit, data privacy, why we have to have sovereignty over our own data, especially when it comes to medical data. But maybe maybe it's my personal perspective, but definitely where I come from, especially even if we say, I hate Google, I hate that Facebook is looking into all of my data, I think there's a little bit of a different approach or understanding to medical data, just because of how you're so used to entrusting your data, all of your medical information to these hospitals and agencies. Could you maybe give us an illustration of the medical landscape, the medical data landscape, and why do you think we need to decentralize? And why should I care?
Let me give it to you in like the degen language, sort of. The genetics didn't have a lot of utility 10 years ago, but it is going to have a lot of utility like even now it has a lot of utility. Um, um, Insurance companies are, you know, actually already talking about changing your premiums based on your genetic testing results, and
Right. Yeah.
that's sort of why it's currently a lot of people don't realize it, because like 10 years ago, like if your genome's there, then your genome's there. If your medical data is there, then it's fine. But a lot of people are actually monetizing on this. I think you've seen this. A lot of people have seen this within the last couple of years because of the pandemic. The vaccines, the medication, everything that is researched is based on this type of research that Ibnu might be able to explain further. That's sort of how we. Oh, by the way, Ibnu is a biologist. I don't think he did the introductions thing.
Sorry.
Maybe it's like biologist who focuses on bacterial genetics. He's awesome.
Right, correct.
He's a
So I took
biodegen.
biology as my major, and I researched about microbial genetics when I was about to graduate.
Yeah, the final paper. Anyway, so going back to this, there's also a lot of like you know research into CRISPR, for example. If you guys have heard about that, changing your genomes and then like making yourself better and making your you know descendants into better human beings, basically. Like this, and I'm making it sound like it's scary, but it's not. Actually, like you can cure thalassemia with it. You can cure a lot of things with it. A lot of the things that are genetic illnesses. But that also means that your sort of again, utility, your genome becomes very, very precious, because that's sort of the thing that that you use, and that's the thing that you sequence. That's the thing that you know that you must keep to that you have to keep to higher privacy standards than before it didn't have utility. And that's sort of we don't want to end up um with a two case system of like people who are able to own their own genome and people who are not. And
Right. Right.
we don't want to have like have you guys heard of HeLa cells? HeLa, HeLa. Okay, so HeLa cells are there's a lady back in the 1950s who died because of uterine cancer, I think. And that lady is called Henrietta Lacks.
Mhm.
So Henrietta Lacks, the cells of cancer, because it keeps dividing, it keeps being alive, which is sounds very creepy. But the thing is, like, they sampled that cell from her uterus, and then she died, but the cells live on. Became a cell line. It's Googleable. Search for HeLa cells, Henrietta Lacks. The cell line was monetized over and over and over, used as research material to check. I don't know, like everything from allergies to checking medicine, and the HeLa material, the HeLa cells made a lot of money for these hospitals who sampled from Henrietta Lacks. It took decades until the family found out. So the family didn't find out until after a few decades, and then there was a whole court case about it, so that they actually got some money out of it. But that was after years. So I'm not saying like my dad's a medical professional. My a lot of people in my family are medical professionals. I love the medical profession. But the thing is, sometimes it doesn't flow back to the patients. So, and this is also true in terms of genetic testing and the other things related to medical data. So we'd like to have this to be like at least one of the ways to flow back into the people who are generating the data, which is
Okay. Okay. So it's about, you're really giving a wake up call to, normal everyday people like me who don't give a shit about their medical data and how it's processed. They don't even think about it. We have to be a little bit more proactive, because even if you don't care about your medical data, someone else will make money off of it.
someone
Well, I
else will
think-
monetize it.
Also, with the development that's going on in CRISPR and the capacity of basically do it yourself bio, right? The ability to have it from in your own lab or your own garage, almost like a software developer style. There's a really interesting like cluster of interests, right? There's national interests, there's pharmaceutical interests, there's individual interests, there's health interests, and it all gets overlapped. And I think a product like this is really well positioned for what the next 50 years of biotech is going to look like, because it's going to grow into this new world of biotech. And I would say that kind of as a closing note, we'll do closing for you guys too in a sec, but as a closing note on my side, at least, I think that's what people need to keep in mind when they evaluate a lot of these new crypto blockchain products, right? They're not built looking to the past, they're built looking to the future. And so even they're taking notes from the past, but they're improving upon what happened in the past to create a new and better system for this brave new world of the future, this Mad Max future, this whatever future you want to input there. But that's the use case and the value proposition of what's being developed. So closing thoughts on your side from the DeBio team.
Yeah, I think I'll start, and then Ibnu and Lydia can add. We started DeBio actually back in 2000. Well, the idea came into my head in 2017. In 2018, I actually spoke about it in a software developers conference, and was it Blockchain Economic Forum back in Singapore in 2018. There are videos. So the thing that we got there, the thing that I spoke about was only one side of the equation, which is monetizing the data and ensuring that you actually, get value out of the monetization of the data. The thing is, it's not just that. That's something we figured out last year when we basically initiated the new DeBio and initiated everything. Is that services and basically onboarding of labs is actually very important, and it cannot be just one singular reference lab that we create. It's not a lab that we own, because if we own the lab, then it's still going to be centralized. So what I'm saying is that the path of true decentralization is the whole stack. And it's the whole stack from the technological perspective, which is why we're on Substrate, which is why we're actually a biomedical blockchain in full in a stack, and it's also the whole stack in terms of the business model. So for the makers out there, this is actually very important, because we're bringing crypto into the fore, we're bringing crypto into the mainstream, and this is the way to do it. We bring all of the good of DeFi into the real world and bring value to the real world in a way that is good. So that's for me. Ibnu and Lydia, go ahead.
Sounds great. I have nothing to add.
Ozzy, it's like you
Yeah.
always say, composability.
Yeah, I think Pandu will just wrap it up. So I'm also have nothing to add.
Come on.
Great. No, I just want to say, thank you guys for jumping on. The DeBio IDO is ongoing and live, so you can participate via Skyward. So definitely do that. And also, if you're a regional guild or regional person, do get in touch, because I think this kind of team can benefit from on the ground people all around the world to scale this quickly. Yeah,
we are hiring ambassadors. We're interviewing ambassadors, and just contact us in the Telegram group. Tell us you want to be an ambassador, and we'll set up an interview. Regarding the IDO, I almost forgot. Octopus is airdropping Octopus tokens, 200K Octopus tokens to everyone who participates in the IDO. So that would be split up between, of course, the 6.5 million DeBio owners from the IDO. And this is exclusive. This is the first time this is being done. So you guys are going to get airdrops if you join the IDO.
Right on. All righty. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the show today. And it was a good, nice, long look at DeBio Network. So take care, everyone, and have a good one.
Thank you so much for coming, guys.